Qatar occupies a small peninsula that extends into the Persian Gulf. It is located east of Saudi Arabia and is 4,416 square miles. Qatar is located at 25.3 north and 51.5 east. The texture is flat and rocky. Notable features found in this area include an elevated limestone formation and coastal salt plains. There's also an island called the Halol Island of Qatar, lying 90 kilometers east of Doha. Qatar has a dry, subtropical desert climate with a low annual rainfall and intensely hot and humid summers. During the spring and autumn, temperatures are warm but not hot, with relatively cool evenings. Most of the country is made up of sand dunes and salt flats, usually located across a low, barren plain. However, toward the north of the peninsula consists of scattered vegetations. Hills are located in northwest, with the highest at 328 feet, called the Qurain Abu Abal, which is a part of the Jebel Dukhan range. Oil was discovered in the 1940s, bringing wealth to the country. In the 1950s and 60s, over 85% of Qatar's income from exports came from oil. The first constitution was introduced on June 9, 2005. The constitution guarantees citizens with the freedom of expression, assembly, and religion. The constitution fulfills the government with 45 people, 30 democratic elections, and 15 appointed by the emir. This image shows signatures of Qatari government officials signing the first constitution. Qatar was not an independent nation at first. Qatar was ruled by Bahrain from the 1700s to the mid-1800s, and after that it remained under the British control from 1916 to 1971. Qatar also involved in disputes between Bahrain and Saudi Arabia during the 80s and 90s. Qatar was not an independent nation at first. Qatar was ruled by Bahrain from the 1700s to the mid-1800s, and after that it remained under the British control from 1916 to 1971. Qatar also involved in disputes between Bahrain and Saudi Arabia during the 80s and 90s.
Qatar gained its independence on September 3, 1997. Its constitution was ratified on April 29, 2003, endorsed by the Emir on June 8, 2004, and effective on June 9, 2005. Its government has three branches: the executive branch, legislative branch, and judicial branch. In the executive branch, there is a head of state called the Emir, or the monarch of this political structure. There is also a prime minister and a deputy prime minister, both chosen by the Emir. Also, there's a cabinet and council of ministers chosen by the Emir. In the judicial branch, there are three courts: the administrative court, constitutional court, and courts of first instance, appeal, and cassation. All judges are chosen by Emiri decree on recommendation of the Supreme Judiciary Council. Their terms last 3 years. The legal system is based on Islamic and civil law codes and a discretionary system of law controlled by the Emir.
If you were to visit Qatar, there are many places that you should visit.
The Corniche holds magnificent hotels, cafes, skyscrapers, and play areas for children. It is located on the shores of the Doha Bay. Many fun activities to do at the beach, such as swimming, water sports, and many delicious restaurants occur at this location. The Souk Waqif is a wonderful place to shop, explore, dine, or just idle the many attractions there. There are lots of markets located to shop and buy accessories. Qatar has a very interesting culture. In public, women's clothing should cover their shoulders, upper arms, and knees, but the dress code in hotels or private areas are much more relaxed. Men wear long trousers as their bottom and a shirt as their top. Qataris are not offended when a non-Qatari wears their national clothing, which is a long, white garment called the thobe, along with a headdress called the gutra. When greeting one another, not all Arab men and women shake hands with the people of the opposite gender, so it's a good idea to wait to see if they extend their hand first. A hand on the chest is another form of greeting. A traditional greeting by men surrounding the Persian Gulf is to rub their noses. Religion and politics are sensitive topics to discuss and will not tolerate criticism of the emir, where imprisonment can result as a punishment.
The economic freedom score in Qatar is 70.8. An economic freedom score is a ranking to measure the degree of economic freedom in the world's nation. However, its score decreased by 0.4 since last year. The GDP, also called Gross Domestic Products, is $98,814 per capita. The growth rate is 6.1%. The unemployment rate is 0.6%. Major industries are oil and gas industries that contribute to about half of the GDP. The export of goods and services is 2%. This is our World Geo presentation, and thank you for listening.